If I had to explain in the simplest of terms how trauma healing or wound healing or pain healing, shadow work, and integration of it all, what does it really mean? I'll tell you this. The pain you feel, the hurt you feel, the triggers you feel, the wounds that get activated and triggered, you're supposed to heal them. And by healing them, I mean face the emotion that is rising, resurfacing, learn to sit with it, face it, process it over and over again, as many times as it resurfaces, process it. Then get to the story behind it. As I say, find the root story, the root cause, which you also do in my one session guidance session. If that's something you want, reach out to me. Find out the root story beneath it. What is the story that's running this? Maybe it's a memory, maybe it's your emotional story, emotional memory, maybe it's your parents' experience, or maybe it's ancestral, or maybe it's past lives. But there is a reason this is happening. Get to the root of it, heal the root, and release it energetically, right? While also learning the lesson, because once you start feeling the pain starts lessening. If you're still feeling triggered, there is still time for this wound to heal, because you will know the wound is healed when you stop feeling that pain so much, what you used to feel at such extremity. That's when you start understanding the lesson on your own. No one else has to tell you that this is your lesson, because you start connecting the dots and understanding it yourself. Then this is the trauma healing, the pain healing part, right? We heal the stories from the subconscious, we heal the effect of pain and triggers, we heal the stored emotions, we process it, we feel it, and eventually they start getting released. Now, what's shadow? When that trauma happened, a part of you got suppressed, right? Like if you were like, I was a very talkative kid, but ever since childhood I was told that ladkiyan baat nahi karti, girls don't talk so much, shh, keep quiet, shut up. So the very talkative side of me kind of became my shadow, and I started being more polite, a well-mannered girl. So shadow work in this case is I started talking more and more when I wanted to. Like if there is something in my head, because my head is always doing chitter chatter, undiagnosed neurodivergent also. So that's also one of the reasons why my head is always chitter chattering, because I couldn't convey what I wanted to convey, right? So it all remained at my head and it kept on playing. So now when I have something in my head and I'm in a conversation, I say it. And it has been a lot of practice, but that was the shadow work. You don't need to heal or fix your shadow. You need to heal your pain and trauma and triggers and stories and subconscious and nervous system. You don't heal your shadow. You accept your shadow. You learn to love it unconditionally, and then you accept it as a part of you, because it is a part of you. You just somehow abandon it because you had to survive. So shadow work is basically this. Integration is basically addition, right? Now the version of you who doesn't feel that same pain and effects of that wound, who is not acting from the wound and the trauma responses. So you have built new nervous system safety, new responses for yourself, you have built a new inner conversation around that situation. And the version of you who has accepted that shadow part and this new version of you. So you adding all these versions as parts of you. The shadow part that somehow once got lost, you accept it as a part of you and it becomes a part of you. Like it's a habit. Like adding a habit, it's same as that. And integrating the part of you which now doesn't respond, like reacts to the old trauma responses, but has new ways to respond to that. And when you start integrating all these versions of yourself, because healing means facing hundreds of traumas, thousands of patterns, and healing them and healing their stories, and healing their and accepting their shadows, and integrating all of these. So the more you start healing and accepting your shadow and integrating all these versions of yourself, the more you start becoming your most authentic self, because that is what your most authentic self is. The version of you who has integrated all parts of you, who isn't run by wounds and pain and trauma, but who has grown from it.